Cape York 2025. What an epic adventure this was. Here we are on day one, all wearing our Cape York 25 shirts we had made at Vistaprint. We've got some great memories from this trip. We did it with a couple of friends of ours, Kev and V. The memories are just amazing. What an amazing place it was. So we're going to take you through some of the highlights, tell you some of the absolute must-dos and some of the things to watch out for. First up, we went to Burrum Shores Beachfront Campground, just outside Hervey Bay. It's an epic little spot if you ever want to go camping, a couple of hours from Brizzy or Sunny Coast. Here we are, that's Kevin V set up with their rooftop tent. That was day one. We did a couple of nights there, went out and had a look at some of the sites there, and our Vistaprint Cape York mugs. And then we're off to Yeppoon, staying at the beachside caravan park there. We got a couple of good spots there, as you can see. Walking through to the beach was nice, and about a kilometre walk into sort of the township of Yeppoon, which was pretty cool. Found a good banh mi in there. Those that know me really well would know that I was on the look, of course, everywhere we went for banh mi's. We did some of the little touristy things. Nellie and I went and did this treetop canopy walk, which was really spectacular actually. Only about a kilometre, pretty easy walk. Yeah, have a look at some of these views. We went in August and we just had the best weather. Finished off Yeppoon with a game of dominoes and some ice creams before we were off to Cape Hillsborough. A mate of mine, Peter, suggested this place. We arrived, grabbed some bourbons and went for a walk along the beach. And the next morning, 6 a.m, you've got to be up early at this place because they feed the kangaroos and you can walk on the beach with the kangaroos. It was a really amazing experience. You're not going to pat them like in a zoo because they're wild. Hey, I took that photo. That's like a postcard, I reckon. But it was really cool. 6 a.m, you've got to be up early. We did a couple of nights here. We also saw a couple of echidnas, plenty of bird life. There's something else we saw there as well, but it was pretty cool. Definitely put that on your list. And of course, pizzas and banh mi, that was did consume a fair bit of my food along the way. Kevin V took off a bit earlier. They went past Bowen and then we caught up for lunch in Townsville. Actually a Filipino restaurant for the girls. They enjoyed that. And then one of the surprise packets of the trip was this place called Paranella Park that my mate Pete recommended as well. Some amazing history behind this place. It was actually very cool, and when you buy your entry ticket to Paranella Park, you also get a free night's accommodation in their caravan park. This is it here. It's kind of across the road from the original Paranella Park. It's very cool. Did a night there and then off to Ellis Beach outside Cairns, about 25 minutes out of Cairns. We don't normally stay in caravan parks, Nellie and I. We do like to be a little bit more off the beaten track, but honestly, how could you say no to a beachfront site like this? So we stayed there. Kevin V stayed in a little waterfront little unit, and we had some friends, Jason Velvet, fly up from Sunny Coast. They joined us for a couple of nights as well. It was really good to have the six of us there together and have dinner and some drinks and go into the Cairns market. Everyone got a massage and had a nice feed. Yeah, it was really good. The next day we did the Sky Rail and the Coranda train. There's a picture before Kevin nearly fainted. He hates heights, so it was funny having him go on that. Yeah, definitely a bit of a touristy thing to do. But it was really cool. Lots of history, that we learnt along the way as well. Ellis Beach Bar and Grill for a feed. That was good. And then we're off to the Lion's Den Hotel. We parked right down the back, right next to the Beware of Crocodile sign. And then we went for a walk to have a look for some crocodiles, which we couldn't find. Who knows what we would have done if we'd seen them. And of course another pizza before we got up early, and the next day we headed to Cooktown. Wanted to actually go and see where Captain James Cook went, and it was ridiculously windy. You'll see some of that in a second, but yeah, it was cool. It wasn't that far from the Lion's Den. From memory, it was only about an hour and a half. Definitely worth putting on your list to go and have a look. Cooktown's a lovely little town, and we definitely, Nellie and I said we'd definitely go back there and spend a few nights there next time. If you look at the tops of the trees there, you can see how windy it was this morning that we were there. And then pretty much from Cooktown, we headed back down past the Lion's Den area, back down a little bit further, and then we could sort of make the trip and get on the corrugations, and kind of what you expect, I suppose, when you're heading to Cape York. And then our next stop was Cowan. We took that photo there. This is typical of the corrugations. And heading to the tip, you've probably got about 7 hours of this. There's a fair bit that is bitumened, but there's a fair bit that's just like that. And we do need to do a shout out and a thank you to Cowan Mechanical for fixing a couple of little issues that we had. Just outside of Cowan, we got some petrol at $2.82, and then we went to have a little bit of a sticky beak at the old telly track. Now, Kev brought his Pajero in, and we just sort of headed into the first sort of obstacle, which is Palm Creek. Kev didn't do Palm Creek, but it was still a mission to get those 4 kilometres into where Palm Creek is. But we did watch a couple of people do Palm Creek, and I think next time, if the patrol has a winch on it, I reckon we'd have a crack at some of these tougher obstacles, when you're doing the old telly track. I've left this video in here now just to give people a bit of an understanding of what you would have to go through at the beginning of the telly track if you decided you wanted to do this. And from here, at this angle, it doesn't look that steep, but I can assure you, standing up where that car is looking down, it's pretty bloody scary. This guy did really well through here, and then you're through fairly deep, sort of waist high water. So we hung out here just for a couple of hours, watched a few cars go through. They all made it successfully, but word on the street there with everyone is, if you want to do it, great, make sure you've got a winch. If you don't have a winch, kind of everyone's attitude is, we're not going to rescue you. You've got to come prepared. There is a bit you need to do to your car. Lots of people have done the old telly track, and you've just got to be smart, be prepared. Obviously have a winch, have your recovery gear. If you do that, I think you'll have a reasonably successful trip, and hopefully, fingers crossed, not too many damages. You can see kind of how deep it is there, almost up to his mirrors. Single guy, just wanted to come and do it by himself, wasn't doing it really with anyone else. He did join in with another couple as well, which is, a lot of people seem to be doing that. So we watched a couple of them, and then basically we headed back out, and then we went off to Bramwell Station. Stayed a night at Bramwell Station, which was okay. Wouldn't rate it, wouldn't recommend it. There he goes, just getting up out of Palm Creek now. Then from Bramwell Station, we headed up to Fruitbat Falls. Just amazing. If you go to Cape York and you don't go to Fruitbat Falls, you got rocks in your head. This place is amazing. I'd travel there just to go to that. Crystal clear water. You can head right up into those waterfalls. And from there, it's only a short drive up to Cape and Punson Bay, What a classic place that is. We've stayed at a couple of places. We've stayed Loyalty Beach, but Punsen Bay is the pick of the spots. I mean, look at where we camped with the caravan. Beautiful beach, great sunsets, and Punsen Bay is kind of known for a little bit more than just the view. It's known for its tinny bar. There it is. It's also known for their wood-fired pizzas, sunsets, and it's just a great location. And of course, there's the crocodile sign, and there was only one of the four of us who was silly enough to go for a swim, but he did survive. Well done, Kevin. That's my garlic pizza bread, and then obviously my pizza will probably be next. There it is. Great pizzas there. And it's nice to have that bit of civilization. Look, I've got to do a shout out now to these guys that did our shirts. They went over and above for us. It's called Go Get It. Go to their website. You can search Cape York and get a whole host of different designs. Get them custom made. We organised that a few weeks before we left, and they did a brilliant job for us. We got them, and one of them was wrong, and they immediately redid it for us and expressed it up to Cairns for us because we'd already left. Off to the Croc tent where we got some more souvenirs and some gifts for some friends, and then our Cape York 25 shirts back on to actually do the Cape. The top of Australia, the tip, there it is, headed up there. Now, there's the sign. Nellie and I got a few photos at the sign, but for those of you that know me, you'll know that there was some controversy. My mate Kev does like a bit of controversy, and here he is with that controversial photo that made its way to the front page of the Cairns newspaper. It's a beautiful place, that's for sure. And I kind of feel like when I did it, it's something that every Aussie should do. What I'm keen to do now is to go to the southernmost point. That would be cool. Thanks to Nelly for taking such a good video here. There is people that bring their fishing rods, and people that spend a bit more time here than just, we were probably there for half an hour, but for three of us that were brave enough, we also jumped in a helicopter and had a bit of a sticky beak from a different angle, which was really cool. It's actually amazing how you can be on the ground and within 30-40 seconds you're 100-200 meters in the air, and the different perspective that it gives you. So that's our Cape York 2025 trip. I've shared with you some of the awesome places we stayed, some of the awesome things we saw and we did. If you're considering Cape York, I would say do it. Plan it, organise it. From the air, there's Cape York, the tip of Australia. Yeah, please do it. Put it on your bucket list, but it is not a holiday. It is an adventure. You need to be prepared. You need to do as much as you can on your car, your caravan, your camper trailer, your motorhome, whatever, to endure those corrugations. It is horrific. It's about 7 hours up and 7 hours back of those corrugations. It's hard work on your car and your caravan, but it's well worth it. It's a real experience, a real adventure. Highly recommended. Go and do it, guys. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy Australia. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, subscribe. Apparently I meant to say that. Thanks, guys. See ya.